Yo. Ladies and gentlemen, all the hip hop heads worldwide, tengo el honor de presentar al único, inconfundible, the one and only EllMatic, yo. Yeah. Con la colaboración del 90 Kid, my man.
Welcome back, and straight from the quarantine lockdown, another episode of Fan Talk. I'm your host Selector. Let's get it. So today we will discuss three major points: the corona epidemic and the effect on the Bundesliga, talking about the stop of the Bundesliga and the restart, our new coach Bruno Labbadia, and of course post-match talk of our game against Hoffenheim. First, let's start out by talking about the corona epidemic. There are 14 reported teams in the first and second Bundesliga affected, facing bankruptcy through the lack of TV money that they were meant to receive for the last amount of games. However, for a restart to happen, there were a couple interesting points that need to be taken into consideration. The effect on our society, the financial aspect, which I just talked about already, player safety and players, and then there are also a couple of positives that we can take away and talk about. So first of all, the ultras are mad. They do not want to have games continue without people watching live in the stadium. I completely understand. This can be seen as a potential test of how to run the league and have games without ultras there. How will society respond to empty stadiums? You could see this as somewhat of a test to a game without ultras if they were to get banned from games. So I understand where they're coming from. However, there are people at home that don't go to the games, that just sit in there in front of their TVs. They're like, hell yeah, let's continue games. I want to see them at home where I'm safe anyways. Then you have another area, which is the people that don't care about soccer, and they brought up some interesting aspects, such as how are we starting back soccer when we clearly need daycare to open up, and some other important services that need to be there. They were making an argument that if soccer starts back up, there will be people out there that will say, oh, soccer, those guys are running around without masks and kissing on each other and celebrating together, and my kid can't even go on the playground. We're sending the wrong signal. People will start to think that, this is over with, I don't need to wear a mask, I can go outside and sit close to other people without social distancing. So this is a very difficult topic. My stand is that there are soccer players that dedicated their life to soccer from when they were kids. If they want to continue playing to save their clubs, to have an employer, let them play. If the clubs go bankrupt, there will be an influx of unemployed players that now are out of work and need to start back from scratch with what am I going to do in life, what am I going to, how to move forward. So there were jobs at stake. Yes, there are also other jobs at stake affected by the coronavirus, but I feel like every area has to deal with it themselves. And if soccer says, hey, we can find a concept to go ahead with these games by putting players into quarantine in hotels where they're basically in these bubbles and testing them multiple times a week or so on, I think that is absolutely fair. They have proven that they're not taking away testing capabilities from people that need testing, so it's fair. There are players, however, that have spoken out and said if they were to restart, they will not play because they have significant others that are a risk group. I respect that. If you don't want to go to quarantine by yourself and want to have your significant others there, then clearly you're, not keeping up with the guidelines of the DFL. So I don't know who all is allowed in there. I think it's only players and staff, and they need to follow social distancing. So in my opinion, this significant other would have been home quarantining and would have been safe. So you could theoretically go out there and play with the plan that the DFL had laid out. Now, this particular player that I was referencing was a player from Watford, and what the EPL does is up to them. They have to work out their own concept. We're currently a front runner of this. We're the first soccer league to open back up. let's see where it goes. We can always still stop the league if needs be, but let's just see where it goes. So the positive aspect, all other soccer leagues in the world have ceased. Everybody that is soccer crazy and is interested in seeing some soccer games is now gonna look to the Bundesliga. And we could use this attention wisely and potentially create so much interest that maybe some of these players start to get interested in clubs, watch more games, support a club, whatever. This is great. I want all the leagues of this world to look at the Bundesliga and see what happens and potentially model their restarts after what we are doing. Now, let's move on to Bruno Labbadia. First of all, let's look at who was out there. There were not a lot of coaches available to jump in and serve and work for us. Yes, we would have liked to seen somebody like Kovac, and he might have been a good fit. He is a motivator like Klinsmann. He does have a little bit more of a tactical idea and actually really helped to move Frankfurt forward when he was coaching there. Of course, they ended up winning the German Cup, which was great. He's a Berlin boy. Everybody wanted to see him there, but he was not going to jump in the middle of the season. Let's keep this dream alive. Maybe when Bruno Labbadia's contract is up, he will still come. He's signed for 2 years. Maybe if we're then playing Europa League, he would be interested in taking over. Or we can attract a whole different tier of coaches. Let's see. So Hertha settled on Bruno Labbadia. I don't know by heart right now how many other options were out there, but I think that Bruno Labbadia was a great fit. He used to coach Wolfsburg, Hamburg, Stuttgart. I mean, he has been straight through the Bundesliga. However, he has never been longer than, give or take, 2 seasons. He comes in, saves the team from relegation, and the next season he tries to move them forward and sometimes has failed and thus lost his job. Or, such as at his last stop, when he has a squad with a little bit more talent, like Wolfsburg, he actually managed to take them to the Europa League. This would be a dream come true if he did that for us. If he saved us from relegation this season and he brought us to Europa the next season. So, Bruno seems to be a very smart and experienced coach. He signed a 2-year contract with us. Fantastic. I hope that if he takes us to Europe, they give him an extension, because I am sure that Bruno Labbadia wants to get away from this image of just being able to save clubs from relegation. I'm sure he wants to show the world that he can do more. And Hertha, with all the quality we have, should be perfect for him. We're not really in relegation, so he can really move us forward. He can push us to Europa, and he can then build and show that he has what it takes to move, establish a style of playing and have a little bit of long-term success, 3, 4, 5 years. So I am really excited. I think he's a great fit. He prefers a 4-3-3 and plays a very possession style game. And his style changed a little bit. In the press conference where we introduced him, he said that he has grown. Back in the day, he would take the 4-4-3-3 system or whatever methodology he had, and he would try to squeeze the team into it, try to make it happen. If it doesn't work, whatever, get new players or fire him, or so on. So now he has learned from that, and he is a little bit more flexible. He says, I'm not gonna, as in style-wise, he said, it's not what we want, but what the team can do now. So clearly, he's open, he has learned, and he's gonna take the pieces that he has and make them work. In Wolfsburg, like I said earlier, he played 4-3-3 with Weghorst, a big tall striker up top, crossing the ball into him and making him score. Then when Ginczek, another big striker, was healthy or came to Wolfsburg, he switched to a 4-4-2. After he got injured, switched back to a 4-3-3. So he already showed certain flexibility. And as we will see when we start discussing the game, that he actually evolved even more and used a different technique in the game against Hoffenheim. So, I have prepared a quick whiteboard session to just discuss quickly to discuss quickly Labbadia's tactic. Bruno Labbadia's 4-3-3 generally works in the following way. Central striker, usually a tall target man. Fast wingers that either go running behind to put crosses or they cut in the middle to shoot. The midfield. These guys usually come up here to support the wings, to create numbers, and then either bringing the ball up on the sides or fill that space so that the striker can cut in. Usually in the middle he has a holding guy that can drop back all the way in here to support the defense. The wingbacks, of course, always pushing forward as well. This is kind of roughly, simply said, Bruno Labbadia's strategy. A lot of crosses into the box, tall striker to score the goals. That's how he likes to function. And when we look at the Hoffenheim game, it looks like he tried to use a hybrid of this, given the pieces that we have available, to make a similar scheme happen. Now, let's discuss Hoffenheim at home versus Hertha BSC. Alright, the big question that a lot of the experts had, where does Cunha fit into Bruno Labbadia's system? And will he be able to play an active and aggressive style of play? As we saw, Cunha fit perfectly in the system because he decided to go with a 4-2-3-1. And surprise, surprise, to settle everybody down and to not risk too much, he brought out veterans in the name of Pekarik, Ibisevic, and, Plattenhardt, somewhat a veteran. Grujic, has seen a lot. All right, so we go with Pekarik, Torunariga, Boyata, Plattenhardt. In the middle, Skelbred, another veteran, good ball winner, just to secure the defense. Grujic, box-to-box player. We have seen what Grujic can do when he's in good form. So, it looks like coach had some faith in him. Milstedt on the left wing, Dodi Lukebakio on the right wing, and in the center of the three attackers as the playmaker, Mateusz Cunha, and up top, Vedat Ibisevic. Like we saw in the whiteboard session, he likes to play tall, good headers in the box, and he does that with Ibisevic. I wanted to see Piontek, but it looks like Piontek is not that strong on the ball in the air like Ibisevic. And whoever watched the game, thanks God Ibisevic was there. So first half, a lot of possession, back and forth, 3 yellow cards for Pekarik, Boyata, and Grujic in the first half. Yeah, we were biting. We were not giving them too much chances. They had a couple of good breaks. It was a game that was completely up in the air. Now, mind you, Hoffenheim was missing some of their star players. Their star striker was not there. So in the first half, they played Bedu, really fast, good guy, looked dangerous at times, but they couldn't get it done. So second half, they switch him out for a guy called Bayer. He was a young man. He comes in the 46th minute. And thanks God that he did, because he could have literally, if there would have been a professional, experienced striker and not such a young man, the game could have changed and looked completely different. We all know the game ended 3-0 for us, so 0-3, with goals scored in the 58th, 60th, and 74th minute. I believe that shot from Bayer would have came after the corner where the ball came back to Pekarik and he just hit it, deflected in for our own goal. I mean, the momentum was asking for it. It happened, fantastic. But I believe that after that was the big chance where Bayer was clean through onto Jahrstein and sets the thing against the post. I mean, I was clinching my butt. I was like, oh, not again. No, but it all came different, luckily. In the 60th minute, perfect Bruno Labbadia textbook style team goal. Nice play to open up Mittelstädt on the left hand side. He gets open, crosses in the ball. Ibisevic, the tall target man, puts it behind 2-0. I mean, that had Bruno Labbadia signed and autographed all over it. You could have taken the ball to him, sign it, put it in the display. No. Beautiful. And then again, the third goal by the like of Mateusz Cunha. Beautiful. Play over the wing again, the same way how our boy Bruno Labbadia likes it. Went down the wing, beat his man, went down the sideline, and in a beautiful solo act, swatted it home oh so beautifully. Mateusz Cunha, arguably the best winter transfer that Hertha did this year, scores for the 3-0 and seals it. And we are winners in Hoffenheim. The first time in, I don't know how many years, 3, 4, 5 years. I think the last time we won there, we still had Ramos in our squad. And we were wearing yellow jerseys. Wow. Unbelievable. I am ecstatic. This was so needed. We showed the world that we came out of the Corona lockdown with fury in our hearts and fire in our stomach. And we got the victory. And we are clearing off the bottom half. And yes, we can make this happen. That being said, Hoffenheim was not a true test. Hoffenheim was devastated, decimated. However, we pulled off a good win and a high win. That means that certain things are grabbing. If we look at the stats, they still had more shots on goal, 18 versus our 13. We ran equally much at 114 kilometers, both. The passing, we were at 84%. Love it. We had 49% of the ball, which says again that even away, Bruno Labbadia wants to play possession, right? Played 419 passes, they played 435. We won 42% of the tackles, they 58. It's all good numbers, looking good, we can build on this. So, next up, at home versus Union. The big derby that we've been waiting for. Bruno Labbadia, I want to see active, off the ball, aggressive, off and on the ball. Let's make this happen. Let's get this W against Union. One of the weird side effects from this Corona epidemic, no people in the stands, no fans. Is this good or is this bad? Usually you would say at a home game, it's bad because you want that atmosphere, you want them firing, like being on you and whipping you forward with their chants and drums and stuff. But given the pressure from having lost the away leg of this against Union, I think that this could be positive. The players could come out there, they don't have fans yelling at them and chanting at them and potentially booing them or whatever, right? This could be good. I must say that this is going to be positive. This is going to work out in our favor. We're going to have clear minds. We're going to focus on getting it done and we're going to get it done. I predict 2-0 Hertha and Derby winner and bragging rights owner for the rest of the season. Let's go get him. My fellow Herthanas, today, the day before the Berlin Derby, Union versus Hertha at home in the Olympiastadion, and on my name day, my Earth Strong, I would like to present to you the newest addition to the Hertha BSC family. Yeah. And of course, because mom is currently busy and left the child unattended, I shall take this moment and the world shall be my witness. I shall crown her. I shall make her a real Hertana, make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Hertana, welcome. A new member to our family, a new supporter in the stands, the voice of the Ostkurve, the future generation of Hertha fans. This is my second child, my beautiful daughter, and now officially Hertana. Thank you guys so much for watching my episode. I will put out another one after the Union game. Never forget, F Union. From Atlanta, Georgia, live and direct with a brand new Hertana in his arms. I'm Selecta. Ha! Ho! Hey! Hertha BSC.
All the hip hop heads worldwide. Tengo el honor de presentar al único